Good evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. We're back and we're ready to go and build some stuff.
We took a week off.
It seemed so long ago.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. The week passed really, really quickly.
Yes.
But getting back into the groove of getting ready for a live stream seemed kind of alien. I was like, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I got a live stream tonight. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I forgot to send you the invite and do the things I was supposed to do. And
we are officially shared to Old Wolf Studios and to IOG.
Sweet. Well, then, so this is New Year's week. So we'll see how everything goes this week. But it gives us the week to get back into the groove.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the important
I'm looking forward to it. It should be awesome. It should be awesome.
Well,
I think everybody forgot we were actually streaming tonight.
There's 3 people watching. I think we're good.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm one of them.
That's true. So
yeah.
So good Christmas.
Yeah, it was really good Christmas. I mean, it's always great. I get to watch my grandkids go crazy. I got my youngest granddaughter a Beauty and the Beast Belle princess set with it had a tiara and a scepter and these really fancy slippers, and she was walking around the room, essentially knighting people. And my son-in-law asked me for my grandson if I get him something, or my daughter-in-law if I give him something that's a little more active.
Sure.
Because he's getting that age, so I bought him they have hardwood floors all through their house, and he can't kick balls around the house, of course. So I got him a hover soccer ball. So it's basically a half of a soccer ball that has a fan in it, so it hovers like on a air hockey set.
Sure.
So he can kick that around the floor, and on hardwood floors, it rolls like a regular ball, but you don't have to worry about it, going flying into the windows or anything like that. So it was good. I mean, it was a good Christmas.
Sweet.
It was a really good Christmas. So, and hanging out with the kids, and we watched. My daughter and I have a tradition. We watch Scrooge every year. It's the musical version of Scrooge. Her and I watch that.
Okay.
So we did that, which is always nice. And then my Tim, my newest son-in-law, he is one of those Die Hard's a Great Christmas Movie one guy.
Yeah.
So we watched Die Hard. And of course, they had Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max. So no, it was good. It was just a really good Christmas. How was yours?
It was great. Father-in-law came down from Paulden and hung out with us for a couple days. And one of the nieces came over Christmas Eve.
Right.
So Christmas Eve was spent eating tamales and cookies.
Sweet.
And then Christmas Day, woke up, did the present thing, and then it was prime rib for dinner.
Well, you can't beat that.
No, and Andy did something new with the prime rib. So we had an 8-pound prime rib, and the whole idea of having an 8-pound prime rib was to have dinner Christmas Eve, leftovers the next day, and then take all the bits and pieces after that and make soup. Do like a little prime rib soup. So she put it in the oven at like 500 degrees for so many minutes. I think it was like 40 minutes or something like that. Then she just turned the oven off and just let it sit in the oven for 2 hours. And it came out amazing.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It was just cooked perfectly, nice, good, medium rare, but it wasn't like raw. It was cooked all the way through. It was just a nice pink all the way through.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
You should have flown to Arizona.
You're always welcome to come over and have prime rib with us, buddy.
Well, I find it really cool that you had hot tamales on Christmas Eve, because we had lasagna, which are not traditional Christmas foods. But the next day, though, my oldest daughter gets together with her in-laws Josh's parents, and they spend the day together. We spend Christmas Eve with her and the grandkids, and then they spend Christmas Day the afternoon with Josh's parents, which I think is a good split versus trying to go everywhere in one day. But my middle daughter has my youngest daughter, her husband, and his family meet at her place, and then we have a traditional ham, turkey. So on Christmas Day, I got my mom has a fantastic homemade chicken and noodles recipe, and my daughters all know how to make it. And so every Christmas, on my birthday and on Christmas, they make my mother's recipe for homemade chicken and noodles. And so my diet is completely out the window.
Yeah, I didn't track anything over the last.
I didn't
days.
either. All yeah, I just kind of took my app and said, "Yeah, I'm just going to deactivate your notifications for a week." And the other thing is, my middle daughter, I love soft oatmeal cookies.
Yeah.
So every year for Christmas, she gives me a big cookie tin full of homemade oatmeal cookies, but they're they're soft and chewy. And this year, she made them they should put them in this big Christmas container, and they were still warm. So I was like, yeah, all the weight I've lost in the last month has gone in between big plate lasagna, garlic bread, breadsticks, chicken or turkey, mashed potatoes, ham, homemade noodles, yams. And then, the whole time in between all those, I'm stuffing my mouth with oatmeal cookies. I'm just, I'm just done. So,
well, it sounds like we both had a good Christmas of eating. Now it's back in the gym, working out, back to the diet.
Gym, working out.
Well, you'll do your walking.
Yeah, that's the other thing I've completely just thrown to. I was walking every day. So this morning I got up and I'm like, well, actually last night I went, okay, when you stand in the mirror and you tell you're going to make sure you get this done. So that last night I'm in front of the mirror going, okay, tomorrow we're back. We're getting back into our routine, and we're going to get up early. Earlier than I normally I get up around 7:30, but get up around 6:30. Get our walk done, and I basically the alarm went off, and I just went and I asked I won't mention her name, but I asked her what the temperature was outside, and I get a 31 degrees Fahrenheit, and I went, yeah, we'll start this on next week. So I am completely screwed on that whole front. Yeah, so horrible.
Well, let's talk cars. We're here at Jackal Garage, so couple things. Next episode will be the beginning of the new year, and what I'm gonna do is kind of clean up my desk next show.
So we're having a Jackal Garage sale.
No, I'm not selling anything. But I'm gonna clean up my desk and kind of show some of my projects I started and never worked on,
right?
And kind of just kick off the new year. Like, these are the things I'm going to start doing for 2021. So just kind of show where I'm at with everything, and just start getting back into the routine of building cars and getting that stuff done.
Well, did you want to get any hobbying done this week before or anything like that?
No, I spent the entire week off doing commission work.
Well, there you go. That'll work.
So stuff I can't show anybody.
Well, I was a little busier. I did some stuff besides doing. I have a lot more time to work on stuff than you do, because that's what I do all day. So besides my commission stuff, I did get some Jackal Garage type stuff done.
Well, let's share some photos, and let's.
There's only two of them. 2 photos.
Oh, better than none.
You remember my big Howie?
Yes.
My BFD.
Ooh, look at that.
Well, there he is, the Viking themed.
Is it a dwarf themed?
Dwarf. Yeah. This could be Thor. This could be a dwarf.
It could go either way.
either way, it's got this gigantic 155 millimeter howitzer on the back.
That thing is just awesome.
Yeah. So and the interior on this is completely painted, but I'm going to work on it some tonight because I still got to weather the tires and do some more detail work and kind of just clean it up. And I want to do a little more highlighting, which I know is kind of shocking that I'm saying that because I never do anything like that.
And what's funny is a car I'm going to work on tonight. I'm covering the interior so you can't see inside of it.
So I got a couple ammo crates I want to put in the back in the storage area here. I tried to build a couple seats for the sides of the house. They just didn't look right. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it and then come back to the seats later and see if I can get it to actually work properly. But I also started my next project, which I was calling Spiky. You called Lawnmower, so now I've got the name of Spiky the Lawnmower car, and that is this guy right here.
The Big Air Bel Air.
Big Air Bel Air, but it's on a 4-wheel drive chassis from another Hot Wheel.
Right.
I don't have the card for him anymore. I think I threw the card away. It's actually I'll show you this one, but it's off this chassis. Because I bought 2 of them. And it's got this gigantic roller in the front. And again, it's going to be dwarf or Viking themed here with the shields on the side. I constructed 2 what look like spools coming up out of the hood. And you see this bit of chain here. This chain, each side is going to have some chain coming down to these arms where the roller is. And then I've got what looks like a 50 caliber turret here in the front and what would be probably a 30 millimeter cannon in the back, which is probably rules-wise 1 too many weapons or 2 too many weapons. But and then this is all going to be flame here in the front, going back into a high gloss black. And he's going to be pretty clean and high gloss and no mud. This is going to be a showroom, just off the floor kind of a thing, just off the build. But I'm also going to paint the interior on this one as well. So,
well, I love it, and Raymond says it looks interesting.
Yeah, because I want. Yeah, I think it's gonna be nice when I'm all done.
Well, and Raymond's got the rules, and he's already shot the Hot Wheels, so it's just a matter of time. So.
But those were the 2, and I had other projects going on, but these are the 2 big ones I was working on. I want to get these 2 knocked out, and then I've also I walked through the stuff you've sent me, and then I walked through Walmart today, and I picked up some bits and bobs, and I sent you a lot of the bits and bobs I found in my stuff, so you have those now. So I can't wait to see what you do with those.
I am plotting how I'm going to use them. I have not finalized anything, but I've got some things in mind for them.
Yeah, it should be awesome.
Well, let me switch cameras and show you where I'm at.
Well, you start doing your thing, and I'm gonna just start painting.
Well, that's pretty much what I will start doing is just start working from there.
And Raymond, I hope you had a good holiday, buddy.
Yeah, actually, Raymond was streaming on Christmas Day.
I had every intention. I saw that, and I wanted to join in, but I did not get away from what I was doing with family to actually do that. So I'm sorry, Raymond. I was going to come out and say, hey, I hope it went well, and he had a good time doing it.
But what that means is Raymond has a camera.
Yes.
So he can join us on the Wolf Den now. So.
Well, he needs to tell me what Wednesday night in the future he's available, because we'll definitely set that up.
So here's my Erikenstein. Like I got the wheels glued on in the back and the front. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just messing around with the pipes. These aren't glued in yet. But I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I want to line up the pipes and get those secured in place. Right. Then I've just got to figure out what kind of weapon this is going to have. Haven't decided, do I want to put a gun up here? Do I want to have something sticking out the back? Something out the sides? I haven't really finalized what I'm going to do for guns.
Yeah.
But I definitely have a ram here. And then I need to take some epoxy sculpt and clean up the sides where I put that plastic card in. Yeah. I want to put some epoxy sculpt and just make it look a little bit more solid.
I've been working with epoxy sculpt a lot lately. I got to tell you, I love this stuff. That's going to be a lot of fun.
So that's where this one's at. As far as this one goes, which is the parts and pieces left over and made into another car. I'm gonna put some screening. This is where I want to cover the windows up because what I want, I'm gonna pull a Jeff. Well, what I want to do is I want to glue it all together, and then I want to take some epoxy sculpting, clean up kind of where the. Let me get my poker stick out. I want to clean up right here and just make it look a little bit more solid.
Right. Yeah,
So
I had to
wanna
do
have
that on mine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to have it all glued together and in place. And then once I get the screen in, I'll glue the gun on, get all the green stuff work done, figure out what wheels I'm going to put on this, and then get this one painted.
Right.
And then the challenge car that I did with Adam, I went ahead and changed out the guns in the front. I wasn't happy with the guns that I used, so I cut the barrels off a couple 50 cals and got those secured in place.
Right.
And then I got the wheels all done for the hovercraft section. So I changed out the wheels.
Right.
Let me put this back together again. And I made the wheels a little bit more. I got the knobby wheels on it.
Right.
Just to make it look a little bit more wasteland-ish.
Right.
So that's kind of where this car is going to stop. So from here, it's just a matter of starting to paint it. So I need to get it all primed up. And once it's all primed up, I'll be good to go.
Right. And Raymond, my Christmas was great, buddy. And I'm glad to hear yours went well.
Yeah. Good Christmas time.
Yeah, it was. And I have to say, even though I missed the live streams, it was kind of nice to just take a quick break.
It was.
Just to kind of
recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know you were probably expecting me to forget we were live streaming like I often do on Monday. But I was like, nope, I got a live stream. It's gonna be good. I even went out and got myself, rather than cooking my dinner tonight. In fact, since I stopped counting calories over the holiday because it's just been insane, and all my work prior to this has all been destroyed. It was just kind of nice to take kind of a break.
Well, and I took advantage of it. Like I said, I focused on that commission job that I took on. So that should be done this week. Awesome. And then next, with the new year starting, I got a big project I want to do in the new year with Starship Troopers.
Yeah, I remember you said about that before we went on hiatus.
Where are my scissors? But before I start that, there's just some little things I want to finish off my desk, and should be good to go.
Yeah, I'm in the process on the commission front. I'm in the process of fixing a major error that occurred, and which has been a pain. And I have discovered it was simply just a bad can of primer, or a sealer, I should say.
And that because
it frosted everything I've tried, and I went back after it frosted the big commission I was finishing up, and tried it on some other models that don't really mean anything. Models I painted a long time ago, and had planned on stripping anyway, and I shot it with that same Munitorium sealer from GW, and that one can it all frosted up on me, no matter what I did. So
that's just a bad can then.
I think it's just a bad can because I bought a second can, and I've used that, and that works just fine in the same condition. So,
did I tell you? We talked a little bit about Testers is no longer. It sounds like Testers is no longer going to exist.
Well, did you find? I sent you that article that I read that they were still going to support the hobby industry, but they had gotten rid of everything other than their Testers range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find out more on that?
I didn't find out anything more, but it looks like the spray though is going to be a bigger issue.
Really?
But I used that Mr. Hobby clear coat.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that stuff worked great.
Well, yeah, you were talking about how you couldn't get dull coat or gloss coat anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that Mr. Hobby stuff is really good. I need to I need to get some of that. I actually need to probably bring it into the shop as well.
Well, if there's no more dull coat around available, it may be worth a.
And I sent you a pic of the glue applicators I got in
Yeah,
or in the shop.
I
Huh?
think that is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see. Of course, I'm not there to actually be able to pick one up, but
Well, you know me, I'll pick one up and I'll mess around with it on the show
yeah,
on Saturday
let me know
morning.
what you think.
I'm always willing to do that.
Yeah.
New gadgets, I'm down. All right, so what I'm doing here is this is my aluminum screen mesh, and it's the stuff I get from Hobby Lobby. It's the stuff they use. It's in the clay department, and it's a
Right.
forming product. And
Right.
all I'm going to do is I'm squishing it down to make the diamonds not as prevalent. So I'm kind of just squishing it.
Right.
And because I don't want people to be able to see inside, since I'm not painting the interior, I'm pulling a Jeff. And now I'm just kind of shaping it and sizing it.
I resemble that remark.
You do resemble that remark.
But I thought these next two vehicles, I'm going to do the interior on, just kind of like the last vehicle that I weathered. I'm just going to show that I can actually do it. I just choose not to.
You choose not to. And the reason, like I said earlier, the reason I want to cover up the interiors, I want to put this thing back together again before I paint it.
Right.
That way, so that way I can fix all the gaps and stuff in the back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm drilling out these velocity stacks.
And how's that working for you?
Good.
Sweet.
It's like a gun barrel.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be hollow, so I'm drilling it out.
Well, and I'm gonna have to be doing mine here pretty soon for my Erikenstein.
But yeah, holiday was great, but it's good to kind of get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of glad we're doing Jackal Garage first, so we can kind of get back into the groove.
Yeah.
I did while I was on vacation. I had away. I had a great chance to play an RPG.
Oh, yeah. Was it solo or actually with a group?
No, solo. Still not comfortable. Hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Still not comfortable going into a group setting.
I kind of well, I didn't know if you did it virtually or not.
Nah. I'm playing 4 Against Darkness.
Right.
Which is a dungeon crawl kind of RPG.
Right.
And it got me really excited about trying to do some kind of an RPG for Gaslands.
Ooh.
And what I'm thinking about is not necessarily an actual RPG, but approaching Gaslands more like Blood Bowl.
Where your cars and drivers develop skills and advance and grow.
More or less, you name them and you put a little bit more of an invested interest in them, versus just saying car number 1.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And if you haven't noticed, I do that already anyhow.
Yes.
I've got, I name them all. Howie. I have a bunch of names. The dynamic tool.
But I'm gonna add in. I'm gonna do more story writing.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is something I really want to work on in 2021.
Right.
Is developing my writing skills a little bit better.
Well, be careful. That could lead to you writing a novel.
Well, I wouldn't mind writing little short stories.
Yeah, I do it every time I create a new army for 40K. I used to do it for fantasy, and then that led to me talking my good friend who wrote for White Wolf in the co-authoring of the 2 novels that we wrote for Black Library. And so yeah, be careful doing that kind of thing. It gets kind of itchy. Where you're like, I want to do more.
Itchy.
Yeah, it kind of it kind of creates that itchy scratch. Can I do? Mine was really I want to see if I can do this. And we actually did, and it worked out really well. But now I don't have that. I still write my short stories for my army and do all that creative stuff. I don't really, writing a novel. It's not that big a deal. Somebody's eating chips.
I ate some ice.
Ooh, ice, yummy.
Ice.
Yummy,
So
yummy.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to start working on a little bit of a. I'm going to take some of the things I'm learning through solo RPGing.
Yeah.
And incorporate it into kind of a Gasland. I'm not going to copy Gaslands 100%. I don't want to get into the Mars came down and attacked and all that. I want to just say, we're just in a post-apocalyptic world.
There was a gentleman used to hang out at Waterloo North named Kevin Shope.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some. He was working on a miniature game. And I did some writing for him for the background for it.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. On why we found ourselves, in this world with these kind of things going on. So I did some. So I what you're getting ready to do, I think is kind of fun to do. Kind of creating your own world and that kind of thing. It's a lot of fun.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. And again, it's nothing more than working on writing skills. It has not, but the charts and stuff I want to create because I want to add a little bit more to when I build a car.
Right.
So in my storytelling, I'm going to create some charts. Basically, I want to roll something. I want to roll a die. Don't ask me why, but I like rolling dice.
Yeah.
And that's going to determine like the weapons I find and the cars that I find. So that way, when I build a car, there's a little bit more to it than I just picked what was cool. I'm going to kind of have a story behind how I found the car and all that good stuff.
Yeah. No, I see that.
And again, a lot of it's just coming from, Blood Bowl, because that's the one game where you kind of want to build your team up.
Right. A certain way. Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I'm going to work on, some documents and start putzing around with it.
Yeah, that sounds good, but it's a lot of fun. That much I do know.
I need another arm.
Two's not enough for you?
Well, sometimes you need 3. When you're trying to hold stuff, zap-a-gap it.
Yeah, that's always one of the things I miss when having my kids around. I'd call one of them in and go, take this bottle and spray right there.
Yeah.
And then hope they didn't get it in my eye.
It's in my eye.
No, they were pretty good. I remember one night I was doing a big terrain job for an event, and I needed help. And my wife at the time and my kids all volunteered to help. So we literally sat down at the kitchen table, and they started doing all the base coating and stuff. Each one of them had a different job. And then they would slide over the other end of the table, and I would then crank out the detail work. And we went through, I think, 65 pieces of terrain, fairly big pieces of terrain, in about a 4-hour setting.
Dang.
For an event. It was actually a lot of fun. Having the kids help me with it, so it was actually kind of cool. And but one would do brown, one would do gray, one would do green. And they just kind of they would just move it down the table. And I had organized everything based on the colors and what was going on. And we came with this little assembly line process, and it worked really well. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Good time with the fam.
Yeah, doing your hobby. Oh,
We need 2 things.
I discovered just now something very important about using a wet palette.
What's that?
Don't forget to put in your wax paper.
Yeah, the sponge sometimes isn't enough, buddy.
Yeah, I just loaded up a sponge with some black and some brown. And then, oh man, this isn't really it's not holding the paint. It's spreading out pretty quick. What's going on? Now, oh hey, there's no wax paper in there. That's why. Because I'm a not a very bright person.
Well, you know, we're out of the groove.
Darren had me through some needs of what Darren needed for his paint room, and just some curiosity. We actually managed to get a product made to help with Darren's paint area. That's now a regular product on a current retailer's website.
Really?
Darren, you saw his setup up in Montana.
Yep.
Well, we discovered that even though the Turbo Dork stuff is in a Vallejo style dropper bottle, it's not the same size. It's a little larger than a Vallejo bottle.
Yep.
So Darren asked me if I could contact Gamecraft Miniatures, who does the wooden MDF racks we carry at the shop.
Yeah.
And I asked him if he did custom stuff. And he said, what do you need? And I explained to him what we were looking for. And I said, the dropper bottles from Turbo Dork just don't fit into the Vallejo style rack. And he said, well, let me take a look. Let me see what I can do. And he ordered a couple bottles of Turbo Dork paint and measured them out and said, yep, nope. And they don't fit. And so he cut and he made a new rack called basically a Turbo rack that is, instead of 26 millimeter to accommodate the Vallejo bottles, it's actually 28 millimeter. And I just ordered several for Darren, or a couple for Darren, and then several for the shop. So we will now have a rack in the shop, an MDF rack that actually is sized properly to the Turbo Dork paints. And when I said, I kind of want what do we owe you for going that extra effort, he goes, I'll tell you what, just when you get yours assembled, put some Turbo Dork paints in it, take a picture, and send it back to me so I can put that in on the website, next to the item, so people can see it holding Turbo Dork paint.
That is awesome.
I can do that. So, and that's again what I love about this industry, because of the way it is, kind of still grassroots at some levels.
Right.
So you can contact the manufacturer, say, hey, have you ever considered this? And he does a little bit of research, and next thing you know, you've got a brand new product that is going to fit your bills. And I didn't have to, because normally I just grab a hole saw and
start drilling away
and enlarge the holes out straight away. So
there you go.
It was kind of cool.
All right, so screen is in, car still fits, kind of.
A little bit, kind of a little bit.
And you can't see the interior. It is the Jeff Special.
I think every car I have up there, other than the two I'm working on now, I did not paint the interior, and nor do I feel any remorse about it.
Nor do I.
I do not care. Whoa! I've just blinded myself.
Blinded. So the screen is actually causing a little bit of a catch.
Right.
So this is the whole process you go through, and it's not letting the car sit completely
properly on the.
So what I'm going to do, it probably is just right here along these seats.
Right.
So you know what that means. A little bit of file work.
Ooh, my favorite. So come on, Joe. What you guys been up to? Joe, Raymond, what's going on, man?
Yeah. Joe mentioned something on our Discord channel that he's going to build a whole chapter of
Those Clown Marine?
the Iron Warriors.
Okay.
Because I guess today he spent the day building.
The Iron Rangers or?
The Iron Rangers, sorry.
All I know is he put this really scary Clown Marine up.
He got the Battle Force.
Ooh.
So
I went on a search today for a Space Marine Codex.
how'd that turn out for you?
Well, here's the part that kind of annoys me. Of course, GW's out of stock on them.
Right.
And most of your normal retailers are out of stock on them because GW were shorted on what they had available. But I did find about a half a dozen online. But they're going for, rather than the normal $50, they're going for between $75 and $100.
Yeah.
Because of the limited stock.
Yeah. GW has done amazing things for the secondary market.
And it's annoying. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to do that as a retailer. You don't have to mark them up because they're so hard to get. I find that to be just a very professional, I guess might be the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't understand the mindset. I get everybody wants to make money, but gouging customers simply because of the fact the manufacturer produced too few, in my opinion, is not fair play. So maybe I'm a little idealistic. Maybe I'm a little, pie in the sky kind of a mindset.
Well, and maybe in a normal situation, I would agree. But with the whole people are, their shops are closed. They're not getting as many customers as they used to. Maybe they're just seeing it as an opportunity to make some.
And I would agree with you completely if that didn't happen every single time something's limited available.
That's true. If it was a one-time thing.
It's not because of COVID. That is not an excuse I'm going to buy because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever something gets, like for example, when Tooth and Claw or Indominus, was it was a limited edition product. People were to put it. I mean, and it's not. I get a guy buying one and then selling it on eBay personally.
Right.
I get that more than a retailer just because he happens to have a few in stock, jacking up the price just because he can.
Yeah, it's kind of crummy.
It's one of the things that drive me crazy about, like, for example, in this industry, people always talk about the friendly local hobby shop, your friendly local hobby shop, support your friendly local hobby shop. And I'm 100% about it. But that's a two-way street, in my opinion.
Yeah. Local friendly hobby shop needs to support the local customers.
Yes, in some way, shape, or form. That's just my take on it. So here ends the lecture. I'll get off my soap.
And here goes Mike screwing his car back together.
Woo!
Something I said I would never do. Never say never.
Look at that. Highlights on the car seat.
Look at that.
Ooh, Jeff doing it,
Ooh. Ah.
This is going to have one of those high-tech chrome dashboards.
High-tech chrome?
Yeah. If you look at that, you can't see it here. It's got kind of a smooth metal look to it.
Yep.
So I'm going to literally just paint those up in chrome, and then then paint the gauges.
Painting the gauges.
And yes, I hate you.
I know.
You're the one that makes me think this way.
I know.
And Joe says I have more Marines than I will need. And yes, and by the way, Joe, I've been meaning to say this and I haven't. Thank you for the stuff that you had Mike send me. I will definitely be making use of that. So thank you for that. And I'm glad your package finally arrived. I was starting to wonder.
Yeah, well, I actually got another package on the same day that I was super excited about. Also, so I got two exciting packages the day after Christmas.
You're trying to dig yourself out of that hole now, aren't
you? You pick up on that, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Jeff's package came, and one that I was really looking forward to.
No, don't go down that road. My Kickstarter for the Terrain the Terrain Boss's book came in.
Ooh.
What do they call it? Terrain Essentials. So I figured that's something I would show off on Saturday's show.
Is that something Dave Taylor was involved in? Yeah.
Yeah, Dave was the I don't, editor.
Yeah.
So, so this is the screening that I put inside that car.
Woo. That's
So
awesome.
it just gives it a. So this is a car where I added some post to the
Right.
front because it had nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I have that same car. I think that looks good.
Yeah. So I added some post, and then I got the screen mesh in there. And again, I'm putting the screen in because I don't want the interior to show, because I want to clean up all of this back here to make it look a little bit more solid and not just cut and slap together.
Yeah, I can see that.
One of the things I don't like about some of the cars that I see and some of the cars that I built back in the day when I first started is everything just looks kind of thrown together, and I want it to look more
Right.
manufactured, or just someone took some time and did it right.
All right. Now I'm going to show you something here. I'm doing the interior on this on Howie, the big the BFG, and I don't have any visible crew because I don't have the figures in that scale that I can put in there. Nor do I have any way where it looks like you can fire it. So since I'm painting the interior, I don't know if you can see it or not. You see the gear shift in the center?
Yeah.
That big red button?
That shoots the gun.
Boom! Yeah, so I figured that'll.
Is that the easy button?
That is the button. That is the button that fixes all the problems for anything going on out there.
That is the easy button.
So I figured that'll do until I actually get some kind of crew for it. Oh.
Yeah, they need. I'm hoping Implements of Carnage, the guys over at North Star, kind of start getting some more options built, like some more miniatures and maybe another weapon sprue.
That would be cool. The problem with companies like that is, it's like where I buy my bases from my Space Wolf, where I used to. Is it's a job they do in between their normal job.
Right.
It's not their full-time job, and it's not their fault. They're trying to make a living and support the family, this, that, and the other. But it's hard for them to keep up or to create new stuff, and because they're called the garage company mentality. I'm not sure if that's what we're dealing with them, but that's kind of the impression I got. But yeah, I hope they put some more stuff out.
All right. My turret's mounted on my car.
Woo-hoo!
And I'll sit here for 20 minutes making sure it's straight.
Yeah.
So this is the turret that was the extra bits and pieces that was sent to me from Dice Mechanic Games.
Right.
So I thought it was kind of cool looking. I thought it worked here pretty good. I'm actually tempted to take it off and cut the post off that's elevating it so it sits flat on the roof.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's where I'm going to go with it.
That'll work.
It's got that little step up right there, and I think I want to cut. I think I want this to go flat on the roof.
Right. I can see that.
It's the little things.
Yes, absolutely is. I watched a great documentary on Monty Python the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was done way back in like 2010, but it was called the last Monty Python documentary, at least for now. At least for now. It was really good. I didn't. There's a lot of things I didn't realize about them. Because I'm not a gigantic Monty Python fan. I'm a big Python fan.
Right.
But there's just a lot of things I didn't know about them. So it was a good watch.
Cool. I am, I know Mighty Python, but
I'm one of my favorite films is Holy Grail and Life of Brian.
I think Holy Grail is a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, Life of Brian is actually really good too. And then
I
of
think
course I do enjoy Meaning of Life, but not as much as the other two.
I think the only thing I really got to watch that was new was we finished watching that documentary on the Manhunter series, the
Right?
Olympic bomber,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
and that was really good. Again,
I like that. I actually watched the whole thing when it aired on CBS, um,
yeah,
because that's where it aired first, and I really enjoyed that.
it kind
And
of makes you not like the FBI.
yeah, well, it depends on. Again, it boils down to like everything. It depends on the agent you're dealing with. I've dealt with both. Um,
Yeah,
so but I get what you're saying. Absolutely get what you're saying. You
it was
know, that,
good. It was a good show.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and then when my father-in-law was here, believe it, he said he had never seen Band of Brothers,
Oh my God.
and it happened to just be playing on TV. So I clicked that on and said, let's watch it because, that's just an awesome series. So,
It's well worth a watch. Absolutely.
and he's not a veteran,
Right.
but he's extremely patriotic and actually will pay, if he sees a veteran at the restaurants, he actually pays for their meals.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys. His brother served, but he didn't.
Right.
And, but, so we watched it. He liked it. He was like, holy crap. So we didn't watch all of it, but we watched a few of the earlier episodes, the beginning.
Well worth the watch either way.
Yeah.
It is it sometimes is very staggering to watch that and what those guys went through. And now we complain about having to wear a mask.
Yeah. Let's
Sorry.
not go there.
I know. I shouldn't have. Very bad. That was very bad of me. I should not have done that. I violated my own rule. It slipped out before I realized it.
So yeah, look at this. It looks so much better without its. Let's see if it'll focus. There it goes. I think it looks better like that than it's sticking up.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So
I like that turret. What's that turret from?
That's the Dice Mechanic Games. That's that freebie piece they sent me.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if they were misprints or what it was. It was
Don't
just in
worry.
or they just threw a bunch of random bits in a bag and said, "Here you go, check this stuff out."
Yeah,
Because they have a weapons bundle.
right.
It's 290 pounds, so it's going to be well over 300 after shipping if I wanted to order it.
Yeah,
Because shipping to the UK from the UK right now is a little high.
just a tiny bit.
Yeah. So anywho, so now what I need to do is get some green stuff, because I'll use green stuff back here. Fill in that gap and make this all look like, blend it all together to make it look like one. But while I let the glue set up and all that, we will come back to work on my Erikenstein.
A little disappointed with the car right now.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Well,
Wheels off?
there's a little bit of a wobble to it. It doesn't sit flat on all four wheels. There's a little bit of a.
It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. It's not. It's one of those rabbit holes though that can suck you in pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty fun.
So that's why I like the resin wheels, because mine was doing that too, and I was just like, oh, file. All right, it's good.
Well, technically, on the back of this bike or back of this car, I've got the bike wheels from GW. So I could do that as
Yeah.
well. So, but it's not that bad that I'm,
Oh, it's gonna drive you up the wall, especially when I keep bringing it up.
no, insert bad word here.
Oh, should I drill out these stacks?
I did.
Did you really?
I did.
Uh,
You don't have to.
I do. I do. I do. I do.
I must. Now what color? I'm trying to decide what I may leave this running board on Howie black.
Okay.
I don't see. Oh, I know what to do. That's an easy solution. Look at that. I'll just paint it dark brown, and that'll fit with the camouflage motif.
There you go. So today was kind of a weird day at work.
Yeah. Anything exciting happen?
Oh, well, something really exciting happened last week, but this week, today, it seemed like cats wanted to run up trees and telephone poles. I had one up a palm tree and one up a telephone pole,
All right.
or it was a power line, which I wasn't going to do anything with.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No way.
Cat, you were on your own. But I called APS and they came out and took care of it.
Well, good.
So.
So what was big that happened last week?
I caught three. I caught three javelina.
Ooh.
Yeah. They decided to go swimming in a lake at like 6:00 in the morning,
That's awesome.
like a golf lake, and they couldn't get back out.
And I bet the golfers are all like, I'm not going near him.
Actually, the workers had them all kind of pinned up against the side
Oh, okay, cool.
because they were exhausted from swimming in the lake.
Right.
So they kind of got them pinned up onto the side, and then by the time I got there, they were all secured, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I just had to, get them out of the lake and get them we loaded them on like a little golf cart, and then just took them out of the property and let them go. They weren't too active. They were kind of out of it.
How big do javelina actually get?
They can get pretty decent size, but these were younger ones.
Right.
So they were probably about 60 pounds a piece.
Wow. Okay.
So
That's still a decent size, little pig.
oh yeah. Yeah, I've had bigger ones, but
I don't know how big the one that rammed my Orkin truck out in the desert that day. I don't know how big he was.
big enough to ram your orchid truck.
Big enough to move the truck. It felt like it literally felt like I was drafting for a second. Like, whoa!
I'm not supposed to be moving like that.
One of my wild animal encounters while working in the desert above Cave Creek,
Working in the Arizona desert.
taking care of pest control needs of the rich and famous. There are so many ball players that live up in there.
Yeah. Arizona's a destination spot for them all.
Yeah.
I think I need
And they're like, we got scorpions. Why do we have scorpions? Because you live in the desert.
Yeah, well, I get that about coyotes all the time.
Yeah, we have coyotes around here.
Yeah, they're like, what are you going to do about the coyotes running loose? Take a picture. Because there's nothing I can do about it.
Well, I think I've told you, God, probably half a dozen times about the document you have to sign when you move from the city in the suburbs of Baltimore and you move into the country.
You actually sign a document.
You have to sign a document where you acknowledge that you're aware you will encounter wild animals in your new property, because so many people have moved out of the suburbs of Baltimore or the city of Baltimore, and they think, I want a house in the country. I don't want to be out here like this. and then they get out there, and then one day they get up and there's like raccoons in their trash, or depending on the part of Maryland you go, a black bear in your trash. And they instantly you didn't tell me there'd be these, and they want to get their money back. So they make you sign a document where you acknowledge that living where you're going to live, you may encounter nature.
It's kind of like the lead paint documents you have to sign.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I literally when the guy when our agent was telling us that, I kind of looked down like, you're not kidding, you're serious. He goes, I has a heart attack. I'm like, oh, that's my crazy. God. You know, I grew up where, you know, when I would take the garbage out, it was shoo the raccoons away. You know,
they're just misunderstood cats.
My dad had a pet one growing up, so
yeah.
My grandmother in my hometown, which was an extremely small town in Ohio, she was the best vet practicing without a license. She literally had a cat creep that allowed her raccoons and her deodored skunk in and out of the house. And she had birds that flew freely in the house.
Yeah.
My mother hated going to visit my grandmother
Yeah.
because of all of the wild nature of the house. Because
the smell of the house.
My grandmother was very much into animals, and that's fine. I had no problem with that. Very much into wildlife, and so I was kind of used to it. You know?
I'm not that much into Arizona wildlife. You know, I don't want a rattlesnake in my house.
No. I encountered one of those in the desert above Cave Creek as well. During one of my cactus urinals.
Cactus urinals.
when you're out in the desert.
Yeah.
And you don't have enough time between appointments to drive back down to the QT. I almost said Royal Farms, which is the QT equivalent here. So you run off the side of the road and find a nice big saguaro and hide yourself behind it and pee. And
until you find a rattlesnake.
Until you're sitting there going, that's a weird sound. Oh wait, look. What is that coil? Oh boy.
I should probably go to my doctor and have that checked.
I should. Yeah, well, that's not a normal sound. And then you realize that Mr. Rattlesnake's going, I had this cactus first, please. Yes, sir, you did. I will go back to my truck. You have a great day.
Yeah, Raymond hit it right on the head. We have a lot of great wildlife. Just needs to stay outside.
Well, I until I went to Arizona, to Australia, I thought Arizona was a death world. And then I went to Australia, and the pamphlet they give you before you land to let you know about their native wildlife, you're like, holy cow, everything on this continent, on this island, wants to kill you and has the ability to do so quite quickly.
I give on Twitter Steve, the old war gamer guy,
right?
Because he lives down under,
right?
And I always give him shit about how his wildlife wants to kill him.
They do. There's so many between spiders and other things. They're like, holy, and they just I see videos all the time out of Australia where they got this spider the size of your face, in their Christmas tree, and they're laughing like, oh, look at it. It's like, are you crazy?
What do you think there, buddy?
Ooh, I like that. Oh, that's nice.
All drilled out.
Oh, okay. Okay. I when I said I drilled out, I didn't drill out my exhaust pipes. I drilled out my velocity stack.
Well, I'm drilling out the exhaust pipes.
I did the exhaust pipes on the previous one. I did not on this one. I figured I'm doing the interior. I can live without the holes. It's a trade-off, one for another.
You let me down.
Catachan is really just a planet-wide Australia. I would agree with that, Raymond. I absolutely would. Absolutely would. So anyway, now I'm on a quest to find the Space Marine Codex because they have the Battleforge stuff.
Oh yeah,
up.
Back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, so I'm on a quest now for. I need to get a Space Marine Codex so I can put the code in and actually have access to that stuff. So, but the Battleforge stuff, it doesn't, from what I've seen, doesn't include power level as far as you can calculate by power level. It's all points.
Right.
But it's actually pretty cool. Like
Well,
I'm kind of.
we really never. Well, we haven't talked about it because we haven't played.
No, we haven't played, and we haven't. Well, that came out also while we were on, our little break.
Right.
So,
But because we still haven't really decided if we're sticking with power level or not.
oh, for the OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on again if the Battleforge app works okay, and you can print it out fairly easily. You can export it to print it out. I may just switch to points, but be about 1,000. I even thought about being just so I can say I'm being a complete turd. I'll go 900.
You would.
It's 900. All right, here we go. 857.
It should be 999.
There you go. There you go.
Just really really you couldn't give me that 1 point.
Well, back in the day, which was a Thursday, by the way, I played in tournaments where you had an overage. You could go 5% over the total points. I played in tournaments where they randomly generated the point value before the tournament. You show up, and they randomly generate the points value, and then you build your army. You got a half hour to build your army. I mean, a lot of different ways to do it. It's not just one way, but I think I'm with the Battleforge software, that kind of an application. I made because it is so easy, it doesn't seem to be a problem because I'm still not going to review lists. I'm still going to, in my opinion, hey, you're an adult. We play a game. If you're cheating, and you are a scumbag. So, so
we don't need you.
Yep.
Well, the thing is everyone's, if someone questions it, if someone goes, hey, I think Mike's list is out of whack, that's when you just walk over and say, Mike, show me your list.
Every time we play.
No, you complain about my dice.
Yeah, that too.
You don't complain about my list. You're like, I don't care about your list. Your dice are broken.
Yeah, they are broken.
You gave them to me, though.
I know that's the part that sucks about it. The only good set of dice I ever owned, I gave away.
Well, I kind of tricked you into giving them to me.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was intentional.
No, it was.
Oh,
no, I'm just joking.
Good to know for future conversation.
I just wanted the dice. I just wanted a bunch of matching dice.
I just remember you were all excited about the red dice and how you really liked them, and I honestly would have never used them anyway. And then you didn't help you giving me the ration about using the box dice. So I guess now that I actually go back and recall the conversation, you did set me up, you bastard. That
was awesome.
It was kind of cool, but just again, it reflects on how nice a guy I can be. So, and that in itself is the most important part.
And then I went online and bought like 4 more sets.
Yeah. Well, you remember when we were really starting to play Saga?
Yeah.
And I went online and bought like 10 sets of the dwarf blocking dice.
Yeah.
So I could have
the 2 6-sided dice, so it could be in your Saga game.
So it could be in my Saga game, so I could actually use it because it had the little dwarf symbol on it, or the little root symbol on it. I love that though; they look so cool. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's my highlighted interior.
Lovely.
Look at that painted interior. Look at that.
Hey, yeah. Did you paint? Oh no, there it is. Looks like the red button went away. I thought the red button went away.
Oh, the red button's right there. The big red button.
Sweet.
So now we're gonna put the top on, and I think. Oh, nope. I see something right there. I got to touch up.
Touch up phase.
I left this front post the base color. I want to paint it black so it doesn't show up in the underneath side. I'll go ahead and paint the black one too.
All right.
I have to say though, I've had a kind of a ball doing the searching for the bits and stuff for this build.
It's a lot of fun, man. Like this hobby, this particular game just is such a throwback.
Yeah, it reminds me back when I used to look around the house when I was playing. I mean, there was a time in my life I played 40K like 3 nights a week and every weekend, and
Right.
I would convert if I saw something, oh look, that humidifier could be a gigantic tank. And I actually built. I did take a guy's humidifier and made it into a 40K vehicle. It was awesome. I called it the Podium. So it was really good.
Podium.
It was I made it as a chaplain's vehicle. It had a big pulpit on the front of it, but it was literally a gigantic humidifier that I converted up. So now here's the part that this is the part that's frustrating. I painted the interior, and you cannot see it in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, I'll be able to see it because I'll pull it up real close and look inside there and comment about how lovely the interior is painted.
I think I'm ready to put some screws in this thing and reattach.
Oh, that's one of those that I put together for you.
This is the one you sent me because you wanted me to do that project. Remember that build challenge?
Yeah.
So this is one of those.
That I'm still working on mine.
No big deal.
This last one's going to give me fits. You're using an electric drill?
It is the handiest screwdriver I have in proximity right now.
Really?
I just had it sitting here I was doing some drilling on other things, and I had a 3 steps. It's got the Phillips in it. I'll just do that real quick. Versus opening up my drawer, digging through my pile of unorganized tools.
Your tools are unorganized?
Can you believe it?
That is not true.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yes, I think screwing them back together is so awesome.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I do not have the equipment needed to continue the ones I do to drill them out. Cause I just don't. I mean, you need a press. I'm not that steady or that straight handed to do it. Look at that.
You do have the equipment. It's called You Send Me an Email.
Oh, that's a good point. I could say, hey, I picked up this car. Do something for me.
Well,
look at that. Look at the front of that thing.
I love it.
Wheels, man.
You don't even have to pick up a car. All you got to do is say, Mike, I want this, and I probably already have it.
I'd have a better chance of locating it at your place than I would have anywhere else. Now I'm going to glue the gun in place. Once the gun's in place, the body can't come back off again unless I snap the gun off.
Because
it actually glues to the interior.
Yeah, but it's not like you're going to be taking it apart on a regular basis.
Yeah,
why would you?
I don't think I would be.
I don't think you'll ever take it apart.
I don't think I'll have a need to. But I figure it's going to be easier for me to paint this gun, the detail on this gun with it glued in place versus trying to hang on to it with my hand and all that other crap.
All right, my last one gave me enough fits that it didn't turn out quite right.
Oh, no.
It's still good, but...
not as good as the other one?
Yeah. And now my dogs feel like it's time to bark.
I kind of like a lazy bark.
And I just cut my finger.
I got to tell you, I was so excited when I got my I also get every year I get a pop figure.
Yeah.
My daughters buy me a pop figure of some kind. And this year when I got that Angus Young, I'm like, I didn't even know that he'd come out. I'm like, yes. Now I got to go on the search for the rest of them. And the sad part is, they didn't list any others available on the. Usually they have a set where they show all the different ones available in that series.
Right.
They didn't list any of those. So I'm hoping they make all the others as well.
Well, it could be they just haven't released them yet.
Yeah. What do you think?
Love it. That is awesome.
Now
I
I'm going.
think it's
I'll,
so. That thing is so massive.
yeah, this is definitely a BFG. And there's no other weapons on it. That is it. There's no machine guns. There's literally nothing else there.
I think that's the only weapon you can have.
Yeah, it's yeah for the slots available. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Well, and the whole idea, it's a one and done gun.
Yep.
So once you shoot it, it's done.
Yeah, there you go. That'll look really good. And because of the fact it is a one and done gun, that's why I did the camouflage. It's like, and I've actually thought about taking some gauze and making some netting to hang over it, not attach it to it, but make like a netting shell to put over it. And then when I go to fire it, pull it off and fire it and put it back on.
Oh, kind of like it's hiding on the gun on the car.
I guess hiding on it's like hiding the gun. So
Yeah, I
because
love
it is
it.
that it is that one and done. But I think I'm going to call this guy done.
Sweet.
Would you agree?
I agree 100%. Dull coat it.
Yeah, I got to feel it. But I thought the best part for me, the part I always kind of like a little bit of on stuff like this, a little bit of contradiction.
Okay.
So here I got the vehicle that's all camoed up with a gigantic military grade, this gigantic howitzer. But on the front, this gigantic dwarven head in gold.
I like the dwarven head in gold.
I just thought it fit the front of that car so well. I may make another one with this car because I have another one of these cars. I may do another one with the dwarven head, but make it a different theme. I may like put wings on the side or something really weird. I don't know yet. I don't know. I just don't know.
That's what I love about the hobby.
I've got to expand my Gaslands bits box because this is what I've grown into. I'm using the blister off one of my cars. I mean, like, look at this. I've got this. I got to put on something yet.
Is that the cannon?
That's the cannon. We've got this little set of wheels here. I got to put on.
Well, I got my pipes on.
That looks awesome.
Unfortunately, I got that one's messed up, but I'll survive. It is Gaslands after all.
Yeah. See, here's the car where I got the 4-wheel drive for the other car. This is
Yep.
the SUV.
That's the Stars and Stripes Chevy Suburb or Blazer, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it was a little more. It's like a $3 Hot Wheel. And here's the clean car strip because I've used the bodies on other things.
Sweet.
Got to find something to do with this. Now I did think about this. What do you think? This is the front of the Erikenstein.
Uh-huh.
I thought about this. Taking and cutting this off at the door
Uh-huh.
and putting the Erikenstein on the front half of it.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. That's I think that may.
How's the height between the two? Like, are they kind of the same height?
They're really close.
Yeah.
The Erikenstein is just about 2 or 3 millimeters taller. But I thought about doing something like that. So
I love it.
Now the other thing I wanted to show you that I had thought about for Howie, my BFD carrier here, Howie. I made these, but I didn't like the look of them.
What are those? Oh, those are the fenders.
Yeah, I just didn't like the look of it.
Yeah, I think it takes away from the car.
I think it does too, and that's why I thought, nah, that's just too much. So because of the roll cage and everything else, I kind of like the open wheel effect.
Yeah, you lose all the detail on the side of the
Well,
car.
the other thing is if I get some crew for this, one of the things
Right.
I thought about doing was having a guy on either side holding on to the roll cage
Right.
with a machine gun, like a guy on either side that's kind of there, and then putting a crew member back here to load, and then having the guys on either side like they were security on it or something. I thought that would look really cool. I just don't have the guys to do that right now.
I've seen a couple cars where people built them and they put guys standing on the back on the
Yeah.
little lip, and they were just standing there.
Yeah, well, see, I want to put a guy back here eventually. That's going to be kind of like, because there's the ammo crates,
Right.
and then I want to put a guy standing here that he's going to be the guy that loads it. And then I've got the running boards here on the sides. I thought about having a guy stand on either side, kind of like riding along with machine guns. That's kind of like the cover guys for this thing. If it should get attacked, at least they've got some small arms to
Yeah.
open up with. So
Well, and you can always buy an extra crew member
right,
because vehicles have set numbers of crew,
right.
but you can always buy extra crew.
And then the only thing I have left to do with this one is weather up the wheels, and then
Okay.
this guy's done.
Big. Now that should be called spiky.
Yeah, that's a good point. I could also go with Pokey.
Pokey, spiky. You know, it's all the same.
Look, it's Spiky and Pokey. So
It's pokey spikes.
they're both big air Bel Airs. So
Yeah.
but this is one of the things I love about the game that there's the same identical car done in two completely different ways.
Well, and then you look at mine; it's completely done different too.
Yeah. So
Yes, you never really see a lot of the same builds. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
copy stuff, but even so one of the reasons we did this challenge with these Erikenstein bone shaker conversions
right,
was to see where you would go and where I would go.
right. And then Tim did one as well, didn't he?
Yes. So we all kind of started with the same concept, but we all ended up in completely different places.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's one of the things that I actually, again, really love about this particular game and this little hobby is it lends itself. Like I said, most of my inspiration wasn't from the car as much as when I started looking through my bits boxes and I come across the this is actually a 155 millimeter cannon in flames.
Right.
But for here, I figured it'd be about a 105 to 100, 120. But that was where I started getting my inspiration. And then, of course, I found the spiky roller. And these are the actual legs for the gun carriage for the cannon here.
Right.
That's what made the arms for the roller on the Bel Air. So that's where I got my inspiration. I started finding those bits, and I started going, "Oh, I could put that here. I could put that there," and that's what I'm liking about it. So it's kind of I go on little treasure hunts. Like one day a week, I'll just open a bits box and just go through and see what I got, and then try to figure out how I can incorporate that into my next Gaslands build.
Yeah, that's what makes this game awesome.
Because I'm crazy.
I got to figure out what to do with weapons. I got to arm this bad boy.
And that's always the I think the most fun, but also sometimes the most difficult.
Yeah.
Because because I noticed you do it too. You want to do it a little differently than your last car.
Yeah.
You know,
last one I had a guy sticking out, and he was shooting a gun mounted to the front, which wouldn't look bad on this build. But I want to do something different.
Yeah. So, and then also trying to find out, like for example, the big air Bel Air's got those 3 holes in the body. They got the 2 in the hood and 1 in the trunk.
Yes.
Trying to figure out how to utilize those or to fill those in, and just so it all kind of fits into the build. So just that again, I'm having a ball with it. I'm having a ball.
That's why I can't wait till we can start playing again.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I really want to get some more people turned on to this game.
Well, you've done a pretty. I mean, not. I have to say, without having access to a game room where people come in and see it played, I think you've done a pretty good job of converting people to this game.
Well, thank you. It would be nice though if we could. I want to get back into doing the demos at the shop.
Yeah.
The game store in my neighborhood that opened up recently. They got the rules in at least.
Right.
So maybe they'll start being able to build a community out here, which would be kind of nice. Because maybe I could get like a Tuesday night Gaslands thing going or something.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Well, one of the challenges is, IOG is my home. but
It,
I can't just run up there every night after work.
on a
So,
non Gaslands front, here's one of my next little pet projects I want to get done.
what's this? Who's
Santa
that?
Santa Hellboy.
Oh, you're finally doing the Santa Hellboy.
Yeah, I built it. I one of the things I like to do is when I'm bored, I just sit and build stuff. So
Yeah.
I built Santa Hellboy, and I built. I think this is Bugman or the White Dwarf Christmas model with all the prezzies.
Yeah. I don't know because it's got a Space Marine backpack on.
Yeah, well, he's actually wearing power armor,
Okay.
and I still well, they have a 40K White Dwarf as well, and so I think that's what this is representing. But it's got Christmas presents. It's got a little snotling or a little gremlin, a goblin coming out of the Christmas cake behind him. So I want
Do you have the 25th anniversary dwarf model?
to White Dwarf.
No,
I have
the dwarf one, like it's the dwarf being toted around by two other dwarfs. It was the 25th anniversary model.
I
Nope.
have a 25th anniversary model, but because I can picture the box right now, I'd have to dig it out of here on the side.
Okay, so you do have one.
I do have one. I just don't
Okay.
remember it being two dwarves toting around another dwarf. That's the part that I'm not remembering.
I could be totally wrong because I never opened mine.
Now I gotta find it. I'm obsessed now. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. That's what I do.
I'll look for him later. He's in there somewhere.
Hey, I fixed that pipe.
He's in here somewhere.
I just didn't know if you had it or not, Jeff. That's all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
Uh-huh.
Ah! Box is falling everywhere. Too much
Uh-oh.
stuff.
Someone call 911. Help Jeff get out of the boxes of
Sure.
death.
Here's my 30th, the 30-year anniversary
Oh, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
White Dwarf model. Now this could be the one because now I'm looking at it. I think this is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought it was 25th.
I think it's the 30th one because here's Yosef. Yeah, and there's two guys
Yeah.
that are lugging him around on a shield.
All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna switch cameras, dude. It's time.
It's almost time to call it a night. Oh,
Oh,
I gotta shut off my lights or I'll be like blinded, and my true aura of greatness will be revealed.
Oh, I forgot to show you, buddy.
Well,
I'm gonna have to switch cameras again.
okay.
I was putzing around painting for myself.
Ooh, how
and
rare!
I painted up I got one of those WizKid models finally.
Oh yeah, they're not bad models.
And this is like a little dwarf model that I picked up.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad. I need to push the highlights on the leather. I think they're a little bit too dull. But I got him for my little 4 Against Darkness campaign thing that I'm doing.
Cool.
So
Hopefully I gotta call Adam. Hopefully we'll start our Alien RPG game this week on Thursday.
So Aliens came out with an RPG, but did they also come out with a board game?
I think there's been a board game around for a while.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of Aliens board game stuff at people like.
They could have also done both at the same time.
Okay.
I know that Adam has got where he and I are. It's all virtual because he's running it, and I think one or two mates from the UK are in it, and I'm in it. And we're going to play like one, maybe 2 Thursdays a month.
Sweet.
In the evening, and so and I already told him that one of those Thursdays every month has got to be for the Imperial Academy.
Right.
Yeah, this is exactly what because he's got Gotrek. It looks like Gotrek the Slayer on one side and another dwarf on the other that are lugging. Oh yeah, there's Bugman. The 30th anniversary's got Bugman on one side and Gotrek on the other, and they're hefting a shield, and the white dwarf is on that shield. So yeah,
Okay.
I do have that one.
I'm glad I could spin you down that rabbit hole.
Well, I knew I had one that had a big, the big anniversary model, but I didn't know if it was 25th or 30th. I just knew it had Roman numerals on it. But yeah, I have it right here. So yes, in answer to your question, I have it.
Very well.
It came out. I got this the year I left workshop.
I got it the year it came out.
Well, that was when I left. The year it came out was the 30th anniversary, which was the year I left GW.
There you go.
And I went to work for Flamezo for Battlefront Miniatures. Battlefront Miniatures.
Well, for me, right now, everything's done being built other than putting a weapon on the Erikenstein, which I haven't quite figured out what that's going to be yet. So now it's paint.
I recommend a Howitzer.
I don't want to copy you.
Well, too bad I don't think that would.
Of course, if I added a howitzer to mine, it would be okay because mine looks different than yours.
Well, that's just it.
Right. Mine looks totally different.
Even if you both. Oh, that's right. You're telling me Erikenstein. But yeah, even if we both built the same car, then it's still going to have our own little twist. That's again what's great about all this. So
yeah, that's what I love about the hobby.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Well, hey, it was good seeing you again. It seemed
I'm glad you made it.
Like so long.
I have a little preview for Wednesday night show. Something I'm going to be showing off a bit. I'm going to just do it real quick.
Okay. Ooh.
That's it. That's all. That's it. That's the preview.
I've got.
You got 2 or 3 guys watching.
Yeah, 3 guys.
3 guys.
I got nothing to preview.
Yeah, but it's gonna be kind of nice though. Get together, paint, chat, talk.
I do have stuff for Saturday's show.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think you mentioned some of the stuff you want to talk about.
Well, I've got 2 things I want to share on Saturday's show.
That'd be awesome.
So, hey, speaking of other shows, so Wednesday night we're back at 7:00 at the Wolf's Den, and that's another hobby hangout where we're going to be painting miniatures, and then we're back in the saddle for Saturday morning at 7:00.
7:00.
What's new with Mike and Jeff?
That's you and me.
You and me. Do we have Darren joining us on Wednesday? Do you know?
I believe so. I think he's feeling better. He has not canceled as of yet. I will probably chat with him over the next couple of days. I think on the first one, I'm not inviting anyone to join us, but I think a week from Wednesday. And if Raymond, if you're still watching, buddy, and you're available on that Wednesday, that would be great. If not, we may have to make an exception to our Saturday rule for Raymond.
I thought Saturday he worked.
One of the days he can't do the show because I don't know if it's Wednesday or if it's Saturday. But we need to find out and then decide if we want to make a Wednesday. If it is Saturday, make an exception.
Do you want to shoot him an IM?
I can.
Okay, and just find out what schedule he can. If it's he can join us Monday if he wants to.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Whatever. I just it'd just be cool because we can change the format a little bit because he wants to talk a lot about horse heresy.
Yeah.
Because he's first of all writing for he submitted a
horror synopsis for for the Black Library.
And he's also big into the horse heresy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's actually heard anything about that yet or not. So I'm interested to see that as well. So
Anyway, join us for those shows Wednesday night, 7:00, Wolf Den, and then Saturday morning. What's new with Mike and Jeff? 7:00. I like our 7:00 thing. It just works.
It works. Absolutely does.
That's and then 9:00 Eastern time, right?
Yep. Right now, and then in the spring it becomes 10:00. But either way, and then again we're back around for another Jackal Garage, which hopefully I'll have some more done on the lawnmower spiky. rolling.
Yeah, and I will start the painting process. So, got to get that DeLorean painted up and get these other cars painted up, and then But next week I'm gonna start digging into all my projects and try to clean off,
Yeah,
kind of just roadmap out everything I'll be working on for the next couple months.
yeah. I don't do
So,
that. I just kind of
Mhm.
fly by the seat of my pants.
Yeah, well, I got all these little bins next to my desk that are full of just random projects.
Yeah, see, I'm too susceptible to stuff because somebody mentioned the 25th anniversary
I
white
know.
dwarf model. That turned out to be the 30th anniversary white dwarf model that I actually have. Then I pulled it out, and now I'm going, I should build this, and that's why I don't plan anything out because of that that lack of attention.
I like being the shiny thing to the squirrel.
Cool.
Anyways, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful week. We're glad to be back. We'll get back into our normal schedule. So, and after the new year, I'm sure people's lives will start to calm down and they'll get back into their normal
Yeah,
routines.
absolutely.
And we'll take it from there. So, thank you very
All right.
much. See you Wednesday night.
Take
Bye.
care, everybody.